YouTube, what's going on? She got Professor Smell getting me back. I'm gonna drop a couple Jews on you guys this morning. Um, Today I want to talk about losing progression. Okay, losing progression. What I mean by this is when you're working for somebody else. What I mean is when you start a business and your business have a foundation, your business has a base, meaning that you have already worked up to a certain point where your business is you're making enough to pay your bills, right? You make enough money to pay your bills. But also you work a side job. You work for somebody else on the side. That job that you're actually working on the side can actually be a means of you actually losing progression with your business. It's kind of like brushing your hair with waves, okay? Sometimes I'm gonna use myself for example. There's been some times when I brush my hair really good and I walk around and say, "Man, your waves banging, bruh. What you putting in your hair?" "Oh man, just shea butter and olive oil and coconut oil and sometimes wave grease." What kind of brush you use, man? I use the Crown brush, the one that they made here in Detroit. But they catch me 2 weeks later, it don't look the same because I'm not brushing it right. I mean, I'm not brushing it much. If you don't lose it, you lose it. If you don't use it, you lose it. Excuse me. If you don't use it, you lose it. Okay? Easily get tongue tied on that too. If you don't use it, you lose it. Okay? So that's the same exact thing. You're working for somebody else and your business already has a foundation. But you're still working for somebody else on the side, right? That requires you to give them some of your time that will actually conflict with your business time. See how that works? Let me give you an example. Let's say, okay, let's say you at your shop every weekend, okay? You at your shop every weekend, from let's say 10 to 6, right? From 10 to 6, and you've been doing that for the past 6 years, but now it's so much to the point now where you're making so much money that when you come to your shop, you got a long line of people waiting for you, right? You got a long line of people waiting for you every time you come to your shop, okay? Because you're only there, what? You're only there 2 days a week. So it would only make sense, and the only reason you're doing that 2 days a week is because you're working some side job paying you $13, $14 an hour. You know what I'm saying? Which is it's really not enough, because that's not enough for you to lose progression. Even if they was paying you 25, it's still not enough, because that business is going to pay off for you in the future. And that guy that hired you to work that job, you can be the best worker, but if you do one thing wrong, then he's going to let you go and he's going to hire the next person. That's just the way it works with most bosses. Okay, so back to my point. 2 days a week, and so therefore you got this long line, and so what's going to happen is people, they can only wait in that long line for so many weeks. So many weeks. You know what I'm saying? After a certain time, they're going to be like, "Hey, listen, man, every time we come, man, it's a long line, man. Why don't you hire somebody? Why don't you just hire somebody to work for you throughout the week, so we won't have to wait so long when we get here every weekend?" So you say, "Oh, no, I can't hire nobody because, I'm working." But in reality, you still could, even if you was, well, no, you can't actually. You can hire somebody, but you can't hire them still working that job, because guess what? When you got somebody working for you, they have to, just in case the situation happens, who are they going to call? They're going to call the one who owns the business, which is, in that case, you, right? So they're going to call you, and you can't even answer the phone because you're working at this other job. And when you're working at this other job, what happens is you can't answer your cell phone. You can't take breaks whenever you want to. You can't leave whenever you want to. You can't take restroom breaks whenever you want to. In some jobs, some of them they don't mind, but some of them you can't. So your time is restricted. That's what I'm saying. You have restricted time. And so that affects your business, because when clients keep calling and you not answer the phone, they don't really take you as a serious businessman. They don't really take your business serious. I can understand you on the phone with another client, and somebody calling, you missed a call, but you call them right back. I understand that, but they call you that morning and you don't get back to them that night. It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. You know what I'm saying? That's unacceptable. I can understand the text message. Because I do it too. Somebody texts me early in the morning. If it's a money text for my business, then I respond right away. If it's just a question, I respond on my own time, right? So you're gonna lose progression. You're gonna lose progression when you work in that side job, when your business already has a foundation, right? Your business needs all of your time, because even though it's just 2 days a week, throughout the whole week, you're going to be using your time. You got to make orders, right? You got to check your stock. You got to see which ones is top sellers, right? If you got a website, you got to ship out products, right? You have to, if you don't have a website, you want to try to get yourself to establish, or you want to try to get a website established. You want to try to market your brand. You're answering phone calls throughout the week when people call and they requiring about your fragrances, right? You got to keep all of that stuff in mind, and it's not just okay when the customer is there. Well, it's all about the work that you have to do to get to that point, because to whom much is given, much is expected. So when you're making a lot of money, a lot of things are expected from you. When you're making a lot of money, when your business gets to the point where you're making a lot of money, a lot of people, they expect things from you. They don't expect when they call you for you to not answer the phone, right? Or for you to sneak to answer the phone, and you can't really give your professional voice because you don't want your boss to know that you're at work. So you say, "Hey, Professor Smell Good." You're like, "Professor Smell Good." I mean, Professor Smell Good that we saw on YouTube had way more energy than this. Professor Smell Good, that's the one they looking for. So, I mean, that's the same thing. So, she got Professor Smell Good, man. I just hope that was a benefit to you guys. Give me a like, thumbs up. Give me a thumbs down if you don't like it. I respect it as well. Comment below, man. Let me know what your thoughts is on this, man. She got Professor Smell Good. Thank you.